What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now I'm on Erislandy Lara, the American Dream. I'm on his verified Twitter account, which is evident by the blue check mark. Now, it's no mystery or no rumor that Erislandy Lara has called out Gennady Golovkin for over a year and a half at this point. He says he'll even come up to 160. A lot of fans are getting restless and antsy, wanting to see Golovkin challenge. He's clearly looking like the best middleweight, but he does not have that elite level name with good experience, momentum, a champion that is defended like an Erislandy Lara, the Cuban school. Even though Lara would be coming up from 154 to 160, he's still considered one of the best champions in the just immediate division below, versus like a Kell Brook, who's coming up 2 weight classes. He's a champion, respected champion. But the other thing is, you look at Erislandy Lara, you look at his resume versus Kell Brook, not really much comparison. Kell Brook is a hell of a fighter. I rate him. I told people about him, but let's not get it twisted. His best win is Sean Porter, which was a few years ago, and since he's regressed. Meanwhile, Erislandy Lara has been in there with Paul Williams, Alfredo El Perro Angulo, Canelo Alvarez. I was born ready, and among others. I mean, he's been in there with quality names, Austin Trout, things like that. So let's see what Erislandy Lara put. And he's putting the laughing emojis, hashtag Triple G Brook. And there's this Photoshop picture. I want to be clear, this is a Photoshop, because somebody, I don't know how you guys could think this is real, but somebody made this, and Kell Brook is being dwarfed by Golovkin, who looks massive, and Kell Brook looks like a hobbit. So I don't know why anyone would think that this is a real photo. They did do a UK promo shoot next to the white screen, and I'll show the picture in the video so you guys can get an idea of the real photo. But someone superimposed it and made Golovkin look huge next to Kell Brook. Obviously, that's Erislandy Lara laughing, taking a jab at Golovkin for fighting a much smaller 2 weight divisions below Kell Brook. So I thought it was funny, and I've seen a lot of people, I'm friends with a lot of boxing pages, a lot of big boxing pages on Instagram and whatnot, and a lot of people are reposting this photo. So Erislandy Lara, he was one of the first people that I seen post it, and I thought it was funny. You guys let me know from the actual photo, which I will now place in this video, how big is Golovkin next to Kell Brook? To me, he's noticeably bigger. Not quite this big. This is just a joke, a parody, but he's really big next to you look at Kell Brook, just in terms of mass, width-wise, his head, things of that sort. So I want to know from you guys, does Kell Brook have any shot to pull the upset? Again, I'm trying to get back to good old-fashioned boxing talk. Some people I've seen, they're picking Kell Brook, but they're not detailing how he's going to get this done. This is a guy who has been dealing with everybody at middleweight. He has limited competition, I will say that, but top 15 guys, and no one's been able to take his power. He's on a 22, 23, 24 consecutive knockout streak, right? It's been a while since he's looked very, very vulnerable. You could say in spots Willie Monroe, but I mean, it didn't look like he was in any real danger. The last time Golovkin kind of looked bad is against Kasim Uma, and some of you guys are just now turning into Golovkin fans, so you don't remember his career when he was fighting guys like Uma or Praska and stuff like that. And that's the nature of boxing. A lot of people just jump on the bandwagon and they don't follow these guys. So let me know what you think of the size differential and Erislandy Lara's tweet. I thought it would have been a good idea to fight a guy like Lara. It's only 1 weight division jump. He called you out. Clearly, I met Lara. I'm a big dude myself, and I met him. He has a good size frame. I've met Golovkin too. I've been side by side next to all of these guys. So he's clearly, I never met Kell Brook though, but Lara's clearly a sufficient size to move up to 160. And he has a slick style, Cuban school. And the thing is, a lot of people are going to hate on certain fighters, Cuban fighters, slick fighters. Oh, they're boring, they don't sell. New media. It's that all that's done, because half of these people will be like, oh, I hate Floyd because he didn't want to fight the best. He didn't want to fight the best in prime. But then they'll make excuses for their favorite fighter not fighting the best, or not fighting remotely close to the best in their division or around their immediate division, right? So now it's about not just saying the stuff, you got to prove it. And to me, Erislandy Lara, if you look at his resume, he's proven to be a sturdy opponent, a difficult style for really everybody. So if Golovkin went in there, and the funny thing is this, I think Golovkin would be too strong for Erislandy Lara. I don't know, and that's the difference between me and some of y'all. I think Golovkin would beat Lara. I don't know for a fact, that's why I want to see it, but I would, if I had to bet money, I would bet Golovkin, because he usually does pretty good with the guys that are evasive or using lateral movement, things of that sort, and he's naturally the stronger of the two fighters. But I think Lara can make Golovkin look very vulnerable, very human, things of that sort while it lasts. And that's again the difference between me and a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys just come up with these like pussy excuses on why certain fighters shouldn't fight other fighters. I'm not going to do that. You never heard me say Mayweather versus Pacquiao should never happen at any point. You never heard me say Andre SOG Ward and Sergey Kovalev, the Crusher, should not fight. Crawford Postal. You never heard me say any of that. Wilder Joshua, you can make that fight tomorrow. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me because I am a boxing fan. This is what I want to see. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have favorites. That's cool. If you're a fan of Anthony Joshua or a fan of Wilder, I'm a fan of seeing outcomes. That's what I'm a fan of. So if Triple G fought Lara and he beats his ass, then so be it. If Lara embarrasses Triple G, so be it. At least as a fan, I got to see it. And there's a lot of media and a lot of boxing channels and a lot of boxing fans who don't live by that same code. I feel like I'm last of a dying breed. Not just me, because I know there's a lot of other people that think like this, but I just want to see the good fights, I understand the business. I understand certain fights aren't going to be made, but a lot of excuses for why certain fights can't be made make no sense. You look at Manny Pacquiao versus Jesse Vargas, which looks like a very strong possibility. People will say, oh, Pacquiao shouldn't fight Keith Thurman. I'm like, why shouldn't he fight Keith Thurman? Oh, he's not big enough a star. But he had the number one watch boxing programming for this whole year, right? So you can't shit on Keith Thurman and say he's not a big enough star, but Jesse Vargas is. And a lot of people didn't even see the Saddam Ali fight. That was on the co-main event. It wasn't a main event, and it wasn't on free TV. So that's the thing with new media. I point out the bullshit. There's a lot of rhetoric and double standards where people say, oh, Lara doesn't deserve it. But Adama did. You know what I mean? Guys like Willie Monroe, who most people hadn't even seen fight at all. At least people had probably seen Lara versus Paul Williams, Lara versus Carlos Molina, Lara versus Canelo or Angulo, because those were tough fights or good fights or whatever you want to call it, right? Most people hadn't seen more than one or two fights, if that, of Willie Monroe Jr. So that stuff is dead and gone for people saying, oh, Golovkin shouldn't fight this guy or this guy shouldn't fight this guy, because everything you use to condemn the fighter you don't want him to fight who can potentially expose them, right, or expose vulnerabilities, you make excuses for him fighting someone lesser than that, lesser known, lesser stature, lesser accomplishments, lesser resume, lesser. Let me know what you guys think of Erislandy Lara's joke to the Triple G versus Brook fight. Will Brook be able to provide enough obstacles for Golovkin to make him look vulnerable and or beat him? You drop that in the comment section, share that, like the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.